Real Madrid is leading the race to sign Borussia Dortmund midfielder Jude Bellingham, journalist Nicolo Skira reports on social networks. It is noted that the club held the first successful negotiations with the player's father, who is his agent. Real Madrid president Florentino Perez is preparing the first offer for Bellingham. Borussia demands €150 million for the Englishman. We will remind, earlier it became known that Liverpool withdrew from the race for the transfer of Bellingham. Chelsea, Manchester United, Manchester City and PSG are also interested in the midfielder. Lens defender Facundo Medina told how he treats PSG strikers Lionel Messi and Kylian Mbappe. The footballer admitted that he can afford some indulgences in his guardianship with regard to the Argentine, but he will play very tough with the Frenchman. It's harder for me to confront Leo because I'm afraid of hurting him. It's also difficult to close the other one, but you know me, if Messi runs past me, then I'll try to grab him to ask for a hug. If Mbappe tries to run past me, the ambulance will have to come and pick him up. RMC Sport quotes Medina as saying. A man from the Chelsea midfielder's entourage, N'Golo Kante, said that the French footballer would like to continue his career in the British capital and, most likely, will extend his contract with the aristocrats, despite the options with Tottenham and Arsenal. N'Golo would like to continue his career in London. He liked playing under Kante, but he was fired from Tottenham. Arsenal were also interested in Kante. I think he will extend his contract with Chelsea, and then, perhaps, he will go to the Persian Gulf country in 2 or 3 years. Le Parisien quotes a man from Kante's entourage. 32-year-old Kante has been playing for Chelsea since 2016, his contract with the London club ends this summer. The Who Scored internet portal presented a symbolic team of the best football players of the week in the Champions League. Recall that on April 11th and 12th, the first matches of the quarterfinals of the LCH took place. Milan beat Napoli, 1-0. Real Madrid was stronger than Chelsea, 2-0. Manchester City defeated Bayern Munich, 3-0, and Inter defeated Benfica, 2-0. The best players of the week in the Champions League according to WhoScored were Bernardo Silva and Rodri from Manchester City. In total, the LCH team of the week included 4 Man City players, 3 players from Inter and Real Madrid, as well as 1 representative of Milan. LCH team of the week: Ederson, Manchester City; Camavinga, Real Madrid; Darmian, Inter; Bottoni, Inter; Calabria, Milan; Vinicius Jr., Real Madrid; Barella, Inter; Rodri, Manchester City; Bernardo Silva, Manchester City; Holland, Manchester City; Benzema, Real Madrid. The management of Bayern is considering several options for responding to the incident involving the striker of the team Sadio Mane. This is reported by insider Florian Plettenberg on his Twitter. According to the source, Bayern are considering 3 main options: a fine, suspension and separation from the player. Mane himself has already arrived at the Munich training center. It is noted that the footballer was in a good mood and smiling. Bayern are expecting Mane to apologize to the team today. Recall that Mane hit his teammate Leroy Sane in the face after the Champions League quarter-final match with Manchester City, 0:3. The German player received a cut lip. The Argentinian midfielder of Brighton, Alexis McAllister, was interested in London, Chelsea, and Liverpool. This is reported by Relevo. According to the source, Liverpool and Chelsea have stepped up negotiations on the transfer of a football player in recent weeks. Londoners want to recreate McAllister's bond with Enzo Fernandez. The midfielders played together at the victorious World Cup 2022 for the Argentine national team. McAllister, 24, has been playing for Brighton since 2020. The midfielder has played 29 matches for the English club in all competitions this season, scoring 10 goals and 2 assists. The Argentine's contract with Brighton runs until 2025. The head coach of Napoli, Luciano Spalletti, was outraged by the behavior of Neapolitan fans who organize protests and do not support the team to the proper extent. As an example, Spalletti cited Milan fans who create an atmosphere at the stadium for their team. As for the character, the team has not yet formed it. We can be sensitive to situations that are created around. for example, to the atmosphere in which we played a home match with Milan in Serie A. It was inexplicable, and I will never forget it. Have you heard what kind of fans are here, in Milan, at the LCH match? When we played at home, our fans staged some kind of protests among themselves, and 1,000 Milan fans cheered for the whole stadium. These are emotional guys who absorb the atmosphere around them, Football Italia quotes Spalletti as saying. Nice defender Jean-Claire Todibo has attracted the attention of French PSG. This is reported by Footmercato. According to the source, the defender was interested in the Parisians' football advisor, Luis Campos, because he is a young football player called up to the French national team. Todibo himself may be interested in a possible transfer to PSG if the team is led by head coach Christophe Galtier, with whom the defender worked at Nice. The 23-year-old Todibo has played 38 matches for Nice in all competitions this season, without being noted in them for effective actions. The defender's contract with the team is valid until the summer of 2027. He previously played for Toulouse, Schalke, Barcelona and Benfica. Several European clubs are interested in acquiring Arsenal striker Florentino Perez, who is playing on loan for Reims this season. This is reported by Footmercato. According to the source, some interest in Balogun comes from the Italian Milan. But more specific interest is shown by the French Lille, which may consider the American as a replacement for the Canadian forward Jonathan David. Also, the Arsenal player is being watched by Monaco, which may need a replacement player for Wissam Ben Yedder. The 21-year-old Balogun has played 31 games for Reims this season, scoring 19 goals and 3 assists. Barcelona's financial problems will negatively affect the club's transfer plans next summer. The Blue-Garnet players will have to part with 2 promising forwards Ansu Fati and Ferran Torres. This is reported by AS earlier. Barcelona president Joan Laporta made it clear that the priority of the club's scouts would be to strengthen the attack. Therefore, one of the strikers should be sold in the summer to make room for recruits, since Robert Lewandowski, Ousmane Dembele and Rafinha look untouchable. This makes Torres and Fati the first candidates to exit. Barcelona will most likely try to sell both of them as much as possible, but the problem is that neither Fati nor Torres have shown a sufficiently high level this season. The former has 7 goals in 41 games. The latter has scored 6 goals in 37 matches. The sale of Fati, in addition, can be a painful blow to the reputation of the club, since Ansu is a pupil of the local academy. The head coach of Real Madrid, Carlo Ancelotti, has set an absolute record for the number of matches played in the Champions League as a player and coach, according to journalist Pedro Martin on Twitter, according to the source. Ancelotti has played 215 matches in the Champions League, 21 as a player and 194 as a coach. According to this indicator, he surpassed Alex Ferguson, who has 214 matches as a coach. In third place is the head coach of Manchester City, Josep Guardiola, who has played 210 matches, 49 plus 161.